What's going on, y'all? You in here with Stony James kicking it on Stony Island. Send my reaction here. I was like in the middle of catching up on the Joe Budden podcast, and I ran across something that was just like a problem for me, and I haven't seen anybody address it. Um, I'm pretty sure by now you might have an idea what this video is about, so I'm gonna let some of this play and kind of let you know where it just went left for me.
Let's pause and at least have some conversation.
Okay.
That's just tough.
I wanted
Very
to fast
hard
forward to the last verse where he gets into, I was 14 years old when I got my dick sucked, 14 years old when I first used my dick, but she did this and yada, yada, yada. We'll get to it. First thoughts. First thoughts on this.
Super fire.
Very
Best
fire.
YG
It's
record
hot.
I've heard in a really long time, and I like YG.
Same. Huge YG fan.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it. It's a different. He's getting into like a trauma bag.
I've never heard introspective
Yeah,
YG. Like this, at least
introspective.
not
That's
this
the word
level
I'm
of introspective.
Yeah, he's I lost my homies.
Yeah.
I'm dealing with losses, but this is different.
Yeah.
Maturity.
Yeah.
That sounds like therapy. That's
Growth,
like I went to
growth.
because a lot.
Okay, I got no issue with what's happening right now. By the way, this is not a Patreon episode. It's one of the ones that's numbered, so it's not like I'm violating by exposing something that's behind the paywall. Obviously, they didn't have a problem with putting this out because it made the cut. So,
A lot of times, the real issue is dudes don't even realize that they were assaulted.
Right.
That's the underlying issue right there. So
Well, that's what he got into. He
In the
started
last
talking
verse,
about how, hey, I didn't realize that because I liked it.
Yeah.
Like, I had a blast. We kept doing it. I knew her niece. But as I got older, I realized yada, 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 yada. So, listen,
That's deep.
very.
not only is this song super, super, super hard, once you get past the abrasiveness of the first line and start listening to it, what a deep concept record.
Word.
This is a flyway, I think, to have that conversation.
It is.
so it's about a new YG song, and the first line is when he was young, he got sexually assaulted, right? That's not the word he used, but we got to be careful on YouTube about our language and that kind of stuff. So just go with that. That's the context for this conversation that they're having. Obviously, again, because it's YouTube, I can't play the song, but just understand that moving forward with this conversation.
Because, I joke all the time with, and maybe we shouldn't, but with the guys that have lost their virginity that way. Like, yo, dog,
You was
that saved.
All right. There go my first problem right there. It's a joke. This is how you joke with your friends about being assaulted as minors.
And they be like, no, nigga.
He talks about how he talked about it with the homies.
Right.
And the homies is like, nigga, that's some fly shit. That's how we really look at it.
That's how we
like,
looked at it.
Yo, you fucking Miss Brenda?
Yeah, we don't
With
look
the
at
fat
it
ass.
that way.
Oh, shit. Like, yo, that's how we look at it as young guys. We always had a fantasy to fuck with the older women anyway. When we was in our teenage years, you fantasizing the guidance counselor or the teacher or whomever the case may be. We look at it like it's some fly shit. You're not looking at it like this older woman mentally manipulated you. You know what I'm saying? We're not looking at it like that.
And
Or
some-
she could have potentially took your innocence. We're not looking at it like that.
And something else we never really talk about is a lot of times I know it happened to me. I know it happened to my brother and a bunch of other younger ones. Your mom's friends be saying things that's not.
Oh yeah, you could get it off with the boys.
You know what I'm saying? Oh,
get
he's
off
so
with the
you
boys.
gonna be my boyfriend and this
You
that,
get
and
off
the
with
third.
the
And it sounds kiki
Yeah.
ha ha ha, but that's some fucked
It's
up
some
shit.
inappropriate
Yeah,
shit.
right.
That if
And it
it's-
sets it in your mind that I should like the older chick because she like me. It's nothing wrong.
We got to
with that.
change our way of thinking.
No, I just think like if it-
completely. The way that we think is, we got to change it completely.
But that goes into
Because-
the double standard shit. Like, yo, my girl, I can talk, my girl's son, he 24, 25. But he's mad, like women be like, yo, he's so attractive, like he need to be in movies and magazines and all that shit, right?
Right.
Yo, your friends be like, girl, if that wasn't your son, girl, like they say all of that shit. You can't say that to a girl.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, dog,
Not
if that
at all.
wasn't your daughter, bop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get stole on. So I just think how the world views the shit is differently. You know what I mean? Like, yo, a 19-year-old dude cut up abs and all that shit. The older women can fantasize
Nice
about
body.
it. Huh?
Like with a nice body, you're saying.
Like, what's my
We know, Ish.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, the women always say it, and they don't look at it like nothing
At all, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But whereas if it's a 19-year-old girl and these 40-year-old niggas is like, man, boy, yeah, we get looked at like creep. You know what I'm saying? It's just how we view the shit in society.
Now they speaking to a double standard, which I completely agree with, is that it's okay, at least in certain circles, for women to approach young men or boys in a suggestive or even sexual manner, and nobody is kind of losing it about like the fact that she was bold enough to do or say something like that. To take it as far as actually taking advantage of a young man, this is a subject that should be taken seriously. This is where I have a problem with, oh man, let's just get back to having fun. Like, it should be fun. Don't serious out the pod. I mean, some of these issues, like, you're not a comedian. Some of these issues need to be handled responsibly. So far, to this point, it is being handled responsibly. Outside of the fact that Joe admitted that he jokes with people about being assaulted.
I just think this is a super hard way to have the
male
conversation
conversation.
for people.
Very fire.
Yeah,
I agree.
From men that have a shared experience.
I agree, 1000%.
And again, the song is hard. I'm gonna let it play.
Yeah, shit is
I'm gonna let it
fire.
This is a real serious
That's
subject, so
crazy.
you got to be serious about it.
We gotta change our way of thinking.
But we got to make Duke sound more undesirable. Like that. That's
a big part of it.
14 years old, got my dick sucked.
Yo, this last verse sound
14
like.
years old, got my dick
I was dating a
sucked.
Nathan.
Yeah, the
dating
last verse sound like a
Nigga, that's porn.
a time.
That's it's porn.
We got to talk about the
It's
downside
our
and the
way
bad side
of thinking, yo.
We
Like,
need
you right,
Kendrick-
Flip.
we need
I'm
Kendrick.
hoping that he got to that later in the verse. But maybe he
Even the
didn't.
guys,
We
even
need Kendrick to do it. We
even
need,
the older guys in the neighborhood, they'll big you up if you fuck some older. You know what I'm saying? Yo, yeah, word. Like, that was a thing. That was an accolade. You know what I mean? Now, as you get older,
That shit is a stat.
you know,
Like,
you just got to change this warped way of thinking.
and how tall was he at 14?
I don't know.
It's irrelevant. I know.
Yo,
It's
dog.
a bad time for a joke.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Trying to lighten the mood.
It's a whole genre of porn.
We admitting that it's a bad time for a joke, but it's not over.
I got to see.
Oh, shit. It's,
It is? Yo, dog. Fucking an older lady is a genre of
Yeah,
porn.
MILF hunter.
MILF. Yeah. It's a where you think that came from?
Mom, I like to fuck. I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo.
Yo, shout out to all victims out there. Again, shout out to YG for being this bold. This is a really bold
It is. I agree.
song, a bold opening line. Shout out to the team in the studio. Oh, man, I'd have
I
loved
know when that shit came through in the big, they're like,
Oh, my Lord. I'd have loved to have been in that
He
control
paused
room.
after the first line too.
Yeah.
Sitting there rolling up.
Are you sure you won't say this?
I'd have been like, yo, we recording.
Yo, big dog.
Yo, the verse supposed to start right there. He like, nah, that's the verse. I'm like, oh, shit. When I was young, I got hard. I want to hear what the other versions are. Somebody had to talk him into just being this strong. The other version, he tried to do it on the low.
Try to do a little.
I got R word. They was like, no, you really got to tap into that. Come on, YG. Tap into that dark deep, that pain.
She took it.
What pain you got from fucking 30? All right, come on, forget it.
see?
See?
Yeah.
I'm part of the problem.
Your brother's problem.
And he said what pain he got. What his
And when you
problem
was
is.
younger, you shot for the older women too.
Look at your
Me
man.
too.
Look at your man.
Look at
Look at your man.
unempathetic Andy
Look at
over
your
here.
man.
We're not looking at Corey. We're not looking at Corey. And our heart goes out to YG. Again, this is strong.
For
Our
sure.
heart goes out to victims and guys that have been. I try to tell my girl this fucking girl. I mean, she wasn't buying that shit. I wasn't 14, but.
All right.
She didn't buy it at all. She ain't give a fuck.
I wouldn't have bought it neither if I was her.
That's fucked
That's
up.
part of the problem.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem.
That's kind of fucked up.
Right
bro.
back to the record.
That's
Right
part
there.
of the problem.
It's not though, but it's cool. Yeah. It's a conversation we got.
Come on now. You invited that girl in to fucking watch the Eagles game, man. She started hitting that tender spot on your tender love.
You gave
Start
it
making your body react a certain way when you knew better in your mind, body, spirit, and soul.
and you gave her the Force MDs.
And she put her mouth down there. You pulled her hair. Oh, get out.
Right there. Right there, though.
Yo, stop doing this. I said no.
Yes.
I'm cool. Don't put that red. Now take that red light off me, son.
Yo, that's your man.
No,
That's your
bro.
man. Look.
Then it turns, why are you doing that?
All right.
To me? God. No, yes.
That's your man. That's your man. Yo, that's your man. No, yes. That's your boy right there, yo.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
Niggas be, man, why you, no.
How you do that? What's your jaw skin made out of?
Get off of me. Please,
Oh, man.
please stop. Yo, please stop doing, oh, shit.
Yo, bro, relax. What is you doing?
Because
yo?
that's wrong. That is
Yo.
no.
That is wrong.
That's no. That's
means
wrong.
no means no.
That is a man saying
No
no.
means no.
No, they don't say how you. Hey, how you gotta say the no if you're a man. Hell, what you?
No, stop. Don't.
Jan, I was trying to grab
No,
her hair.
stop. Don't.
Off of me.
Jan, I grabbed her hair.
Stop.
Grabbed her
Why
hair.
are you doing this to
Ah,
me?
fuck it. That's the eventual name.
Nah, your no don't stop go to. I mean, your no stop don't go to no don't stop.
I have to let you do this to get you off of me.
It's the only way I could
There,
end.
you happy?
Yeah. You got what you came for?
Shout out to YG, man.
Oh,
And
we're
the victims.
terrible, man. I apologize, man.
Oh my lord. All right, is there anything else we got to get to?
We just go from this nigga on the couch doing all type of motions. Yo, y'all good? Yo, this nigga's crazy.
All right, man. I already know some people that's going to agree that I'm being a little bit too serious about the topic, but I think that's one of the problems we have in our society. If we take this situation, we reverse it, and we make it a young woman that was assaulted by an older man, it's an entirely different vibe in the room. It's an entirely different approach to the conversation. But because it's a boy, they already admitted that in society, like, the way we view these things is not really a big deal until people get older and realize they have been taken advantage of. You know people like that. I know people like that. I know men who, as young boys, have been assaulted by older women. And it causes a lot of problems for people as they get older because you're not really sure how to handle that and process that information of what happened to you. You were too young. You had no control. You were taken advantage of. And we're just going to sit here and laugh and joke about it because everything is jokes. You know, the way we cover our tracks is by putting up the disclaimer at the beginning of the podcast and, you know, the thoughts, views, and opinions. And, you know, it is not serious. We're not telling you anything about ourselves. And, you know, don't take this seriously. And you know what? We good. We covered ourselves legally. So anything you hear on this podcast from here on out is whatever, right? But like I said, you're not a comedian. It's really not funny. And I promise you, for anybody that's been through the experience, they're not laughing at it either. That's not to say I'm a victim of being assaulted, but I know these people. If I was a victim, I wouldn't be sitting here laughing. It's not funny. So even Ice joined in. He tried his hardest to separate himself and not engage. And by the end, he was making jokes about it. Like, this is a great time to have a different perspective in the room. And sometimes, man, that locker room culture, we just go too far. This was an example of that. This just bothered me so bad, it was nothing funny about it at all. And the fact is, I'm probably out on the island because, like I said, I don't see an ounce of outrage about this at all. YG, in a vulnerable moment, is telling a story about something that happened in his life and also how that's affected him as a man and growing into a man. And we just joking about it. It's all jokes. It's all games. this is what I was talking about when I was saying, like, we just gonna laugh about everything until it's over. You know, it's nothing to take serious, and assaulting the young boys, like, we just act like it's not a big deal. Like, I had a real problem with this one. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm definitely out on this one. But I love you. Take care of yourself.